There's a neighborhood in LA where you can purchase a single family home for as little as $1 million and as much as almost $5 million in the same small neighborhood. And in today's Nosy Neighbor Report, I'm going to give you all the details about this neighborhood and about where your property fits in if you're a homeowner in this neighborhood or if you're looking to buy in this neighborhood. My name is Nick Cates. I'm a Los Angeles realtor, and I specialize in allowing homeowners and rental property owners to get instant offers at full market value without listing your property. So if you own property in this neighborhood, listen up. And if you're looking to buy in this neighborhood, listen up. Let's get right into it. So where is Beverly Grove North? Well, Beverly Grove North is actually right above Beverly Grove South, where I did a recent Nosy Neighbor Report. This is bordered by Fairfax on the east and Melrose on the north, as well as La Cienega on the west and 3rd Street on the south. And that is directly adjacent to Beverly Grove South, which again is just south of 3rd Street, adjacent to the Grove and all of those streets that I just mentioned. So let's talk about what the actual report is. And you can get a copy of this report. If you stick with me, I'll show you how you can get a copy of both the overall itemized report and the detailed interactive report, which shows you property by property, all the properties that I'm going to talk about and many other ones. Okay, so let's get right into that portion of it. So Beverly Grove North actually is characterized by having long north and south streets versus the east and west streets, which are in Beverly Grove South. So Beverly Grove North has streets like Oakwood, Edinburgh, Kilcoa, La Jolla, and all these are long northwest streets. And you'll see that there were, in this first quarter of 2026, which is what we're dealing with here, there were almost 10 properties, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 properties that are active in the first quarter of 2026. And the average asking price is about $3 million, right? But look at the spread between the prices that you see in properties. You have properties, this first one that's listed at 1.4 million almost, and you have properties listed all the way up to this last one on Edinburgh is actually listed for almost $5 million. So you see the spread in properties that you can get actively on the market. Let's look at the residential at the active under contract. Active under contract means that they recently went into escrow and now they are going through the due diligence process. You only have one active under contract in the first quarter, and it's listed at 1.5 on Crescent Heights. And then look at this. This is very important. If you own property in the Beverly Grove North area, look at how many properties were canceled after as little as 41 or 26 days on the market, all the way up to 259 days on market. Why are properties canceled? Properties are canceled because the owner typically hasn't gotten the price point that he or she wanted. And look at the price points that we're talking about. We're talking about as little as $1.8 million, and we're talking about all the way up to $4.4 million. I want to point out a very important thing too. The difference in the property types that you see in Beverly Grove are really a function of two things. Either they are properties that have not been on the market in many, many years, 2 decades or more, and they're the original Spanish style houses. Maybe they've been in good condition, but they're just typically not updated. And they're certainly not torn down and then many mansions built, which is really more along the lines of what you see in that $3 million up to $5 million range. And in my all-in-one report, the interactive report that you can get for free, you can actually go through property by property. You'll see that there are properties that are listed with the green icons on the left, and you can scroll down and look property by property and see, for example, this one, you can see that this is listed at $1.795 million, been on the market for 11 days. You see that this is basically an original 1930s property, and you see the pictures and so forth. And you can go through and click and see the pictures that are available. You can get the description of the property. You'll see more about the square footage, the bedrooms and bathrooms, and all the critical information that gives you an idea about this property. I talk about the active listings, I talk about the active under contract, the canceled listings, and most importantly, the listings that have actually sold. But let's get back to our overall breakdown of all the individual properties. And again, you'll get a copy of this as well if you want to for free. And you'll see the number of sold listings. There's been a high number relatively in the first quarter of this year that have sold. And again, you see from $1.5 million, which is typically one of those older properties that's on the market for the first time in many, many years. Another one for 1.8, probably a little bit better condition. But look at this. It's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for 1,100 square feet. So this one probably at the bedroom count and square footage, it's probably had a significant amount of updates. You're seeing them spread from 1.5 up to the high $2 million range, $3 million range. Typically, you see a property like this on floors, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 2,800 square feet. This is definitely one that was torn down and then rebuilt. Maybe not most recently, but certainly in the last 10, 15 years. Then you're seeing properties with 3,000 square feet, 5,000 square feet, and they're selling, these are selling at well above the 4 million, even up to $6 million, like this one on Alfred Street, which is 5 bedroom, 6 bath, 6,100 square feet, and it's listed, or it's sold actually for almost $6 million. As I said before, there are also residential income properties, typically 2 to 4 units. In the first quarter of this year, you had 2 properties that were listed as active. The average asking price for these is $2.4 million. There was one that was listed at 1.8. This is a 7-bedroom, 5-bath. It's typically probably going to be a 3-unit building. This one with 6 bedrooms and 4 baths is probably a 2-unit building, maybe a 3-unit building or 3-unit building, or it could just be a 2 units with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. They're typically a large square footage. You see 4,100 in this case, 4,800 in this case. There were also 2 units that were canceled during this period. The average asking price for those was $3.2 million, and there was one that was sold, and it was it had 12 bedrooms, 10 baths. That's a pretty big unit, 6,100 square feet, 1,950 square, 19 or $1.95 million is what it was sold for. So again, you can get this report as well as the interactive report that will allow you to go over all the properties in fine detail. So what's the big takeaway? The average sale price for Beverly Grove North was well above $3.3 million for the properties that sold this quarter, as opposed to Beverly Grove South, where the average sales price was around $2.5 million. So you see there's $1 million price swing between the two areas. And typically properties in Beverly Grove North sell for a higher price point. Even the ones that have not been on the market in many years probably have at least $100,000, $200,000 price difference between what is in Beverly Grove South. And certainly the properties that are redeveloped and torn down and built into brand new properties sell for a higher price point in Beverly Grove North. So if you'd like to get a copy of either one of these reports, either or both the overall analysis and the interactive all-in-one report, where you're able to click on individual properties and get all the detail, pictures, all the analysis, definitely let me know. There's a link in this description, and you can be well equipped to know what your property is worth. And if you're interested in getting a copy that is actually customized for your particular property, I can provide you that too. You can go to nickcatesdeals.com or connect with me directly, and I'd be happy to get you that report. But in any case, I appreciate you guys staying with me. Be armed with this information, and you can be the best neighbor in your neighborhood. We'll see you next time on the Nosy Neighbor Report.